Hello again. It's been quite some time since I've done back-to-back videos, but decided to do one today. So yesterday's workout was kind of intense, and I'm someone who stays active daily. And I guess by recording things back to back, it gives new subscribers an idea of what day-to-day life looks like from a workout perspective, and also, I guess how I play around with my volume. So yesterday was a really high volume day, but that doesn't necessarily mean today will be a low volume day. It'll just be a lower volume day. And yeah, plus it is my understanding that to most people kettlebells are a lot more accessible than maces are. So maces and clubs. So I guess today is going to be an all kettlebell workout. So starting off with Deadstop clean to shoulder press. So Deadstop clean, shoulder press, back down, and repeat. So with a Deadstop, like just the act of picking up the kettlebell from a point ahead of you starts this pendulum start a kind of motion that is something you need to get familiar with and know how to use in order to perform kettlebell, mace, and club movements properly. So just the act of lifting the kettlebell from the floor makes it go into like a pendulum sort of trajectory, and you need to learn how to time how you fire the hips and the rest of the muscles to take advantage of that pendulum motion to bring the weight up to a clean position. Going for 5 on each side. Then supersetting that with 15 gorilla rows with my 35-pound kettlebells. So yeah, the reps are still fairly high. I do like having an endurance concept to things. I, at least personally, do value the ability to last longer than one rep max or an absolute strength sort of thing. Like, it's more impressive when you can lift something reasonably heavy for a long duration of time, like strongman stuff, which is like carrying like a yoke bar or farmer carries or many number of things for a long time, than just being able to do a heavy 1 rep max. But yeah, Uh, Also, yesterday there wasn't a whole lot of horizontal pulling, and so I wanted to make sure I threw some of this in, probably at least one or two more horizontal pulls. But it's probably like with kettlebells, it's hard to come up with variations other than the gorilla rows, but let's see what I come up with. In any case, yeah, this is what I'm starting off with. 4 sets and on to the next thing. So for the next set of movements, starting with my 80-pound kettlebell, I'm going to do a movement called Ballistic rows, or just hand-to-hand rows, or hand-to-hand hang rows, because you never let it touch the floor, so it's hanging. I'm going for 8 to 10 reps, so it looks like this. And then for the second movement, with the 45-pound kettlebell, from a Deadstop again, going to do a hang snatch to overhead squat, and repeat for 5 times on each side. I'm doing an overhead squat while holding the kettlebell overhead. Really requires a lot of balance, and so it's a good way to train that. So yeah, these two movements is what I'm doing. For the second set of things, I don't know. Yeah, nothing really too special. Yeah, on to the next thing. 4 sets. So going to end off with some heavy kettlebell swing. So using my 106-pound kettlebell. I'm kind of thinking about doing 10 sets of 10 for 100 reps with short breaks in between. So let's see how it goes. With doing kettlebell swings, one of the cues that seems to help for me is I keep my eye on the kettlebell the whole time. So I let, if you imagine your upper body to be like a straight line, I'll do it from the side on this set. So So what I notice some people do when they do a kettlebell swing is they keep their head up instead of letting the head follow the trajectory of the kettlebell, and that takes the body away from a position what's called neutral spine, which seems to be biomechanically the best position to be when doing this. So yeah, just something to think about. Your upper body is in a straight line. It's connected to your lower body, which is also in a straight line, and you're using that pendulum motion to your advantage. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, something kind of heavy but manageable for me. The concept of heavy is relative, so some might think, oh, this is not really an active recovery style workout, but if you make the reps low enough or the weight low enough, it's active recovery. Just because the weights are one way for me doesn't mean it can't be reduced, and the rep ranges can be reduced too. I think that was set 4, right? I should keep count. So yeah, not keeping too long of rest periods. Pretty much just going from set to set. Another thing with kettlebell swings is I think people think that they have to actually lift the kettlebell up with their arms. Your arms are just hooks. Your arms, they're not doing anything except for holding on to the kettlebell. All of the force generation comes from the hips. That was 60. Heart rate's at like 162. So yeah, you can do cardio by just swinging a kettlebell. 20. I might be doing 1 rep extra sometimes, but it is what it is. And one of the things is, well, let me do the next set. Oh, that was 80. So one of the things is like as the weight's swinging, your core has to brace, so it's like that momentum to be able to absorb and guide it back. The muscles have to really fire quite a lot. Alright, last set. And so I feel a huge pump in my glutes, lower back, entire body. I'll probably juggle for a little while after this. The 25-pound kettlebell is going to feel a lot lighter having done this. I hope, at least. And that's that. Alright, on to some juggling. Alright, on to some juggling to finish things off. Like I've mentioned quite a few times before, juggling is a way, like, I don't know, you'd have to do it to understand, but just, I guess, doing kettlebell flows might give you the same understanding. But just the act of, like, doing kettlebell juggling doesn't feel like I'm doing a workout. It feels like I'm doing something fun, like maybe playing basketball or something like that. But, you know, since there's a weight at play and it gets my heart rate going and stuff, I get cardio and weight training and have fun all at once. In any case, juggling session commence. Oh yeah, it does feel light. Yeah, it feels too light, but I think that's a good thing. Damn it, I was going good. But having used the heavy kettlebell just prior to this, I find it a lot more effortless to get a lot more rotations on this kettlebell. Now, it's getting windy. Hope it doesn't blow the camera over. Oh, I'd say that was pretty nice. That might have been the last one, but I'm gonna try one more. Oh, I like it when it stays bright later. It's like 8:18 in the evening now, and there's still daylight. And I like it this way. I like it when it's brighter late till like 9. Whatever. No. Let's do one more. That's a pretty decent note to end things off on. I'm going to go on a walk or something. And that'll be it for me from today. See you all in the next one.